All right, folks, we're back for the doubleheader. I believe the game is going on right now, so we might be on a short clock because John has some money and he wants to go see it work.
Lots of money.
But we have one of the smartest humans on the planet in data. Why wouldn't we do a potty? So, Faye, go ahead, introduce yourself. Let us know what's up.
Hey, thank you, Rabba. Thank you, John. And it's an honor to be on this podcast. My name is Faye. I'm the founder of SourceMedium, SourceMedium.com. You heard it, you know. If you ever use GA, you probably know what it is. We do data infrastructure for brands. We provide them with very high quality data to make decisions. And everybody at SourceMedium codes.
Oh, yeah. So
That's what we do.
tell me about your background. Take us through how SourceMedium came to be, how you got your start in e-commerce and data.
Thank you. Yeah. So I actually started my career. I was a business major coming out of college. Failed all my computer science classes.
Where'd you go to school?
University of Illinois.
Oh, it's a Midwest boy. I mean,
Yeah.
how you guys? There's
In-state
so much.
tuition.
That's exactly right. But
very
there's
good
so
deal.
much alignment with like the Bloomington, like everything. The stadiums are called the same. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. That's a really interesting campus, actually. I partied there a few times. It's a very interesting campus.
Okay, so you like partying then.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
We're a party school. That's
I
what they
raged
said
my
anyways.
face off in mine. Yeah.
I can
Different
see.
life.
I
Old
can
life.
see that.
Old life.
Yeah. A few rings around the tree trunk.
Hey, you know, I was not one to shy away from a good time, but that doesn't impede me from loving why data is so important.
Thank you. Yeah, so I know you know that better than anyone, to be honest. So I actually started my career at Google. I was a analytical lead / account strategist, whatever the title is now, for a mid-market business industrial sector.
Yeah.
So I looked at, a lot of Google Ads data, for companies that were spending a lot of money on Google, but wasting a third of it, generally speaking. So that's where I had my first experience with data and understanding all of the opportunities that is within the ability to understand and look at data.
100%.
And then after that, I actually went to the very first coding bootcamp in San Francisco called Dev Bootcamp.
Let's go. What was the language? What were you coding?
Ruby on Rails.
Wow.
It was.
What year was this?
This would have been like 20. I left Google after a year and a half, which was a little bit regrettable. That was before the stock split.
Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. It is what it is.
Exactly. But this would have been in 13 or 14-ish back in those years. Yeah. So learn how to code in 12 weeks, supposedly, and became technical. But
So you were not originally technical?
No.
You weren't nerdy at all or nothing?
No.
Business student.
Yeah, I could barely do SQL, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Self-taught.
Dude, those are the G's.
Yeah. I can only self-teach. School never worked.
I'm the same
for me,
way.
So
I would never go to class. I would just study on my own.
I'm the exact, like, not to derail things, but I'm the exact same way where everything, I went to school for fucking economics. Like I wanted to be an investment banker and now I'm running marketing. So it's
and
like,
you're buying A&F calls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't even get, I lost on that back end of that. Didn't take any GME action, but no, I mean, it was the same because I got into photography. I got into AWS builds. I got into super nerdy stuff, but to your point, it was just all self-taught. And I think there's a certain magic to that because you learn what you need to learn.
Yeah.
And you go through all like the mental gymnastics to figure shit out.
100%, man. I mean,
that's how you learn, right?
It's exactly how you learn. And like, again, not to derail things, but I think this is the best time to be extraordinary and the worst time to be average.
So true.
Like if you want to, back in the day, you could just go to your job, do the factory, you get the house, the kid, the wife, the car.
Yeah.
Now it's like, man, dude, you can just go on YouTube and pretty much get to a really high level of something or like a Maven course or whatever.
Seriously.
So anyway, sorry, go back to you, Faye.
I got no kids, no cars, and no wife.
But incredible, impeccable taste in pants.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my social anxiety pants. Anyway, so, I didn't know anything about e-com. Don't ask me what conversion rate was. But my best friend started working with this mattress company, and they were scaling very fast, and they needed somebody that could work with an Israeli engineering team. And for some reason, I guess I'm able to work with them for whatever reason.
Not easy. Not an easy task.
There's a joke about Israelis. There's 2 Israelis and 4 opinions.
Yeah.
It's so
Might be
good.
8.
It might be 8.
Exactly. But they do respect competency, which I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate.
100%. Very meritocratic. 100%.
Yeah. So next thing you know, I became VP of product and analytics over there while we were essentially scaling from 7 to 9 figures in run rate. In 2018, we went from 7 to 9 1 year.
Hold on. So you go from non-technical to VP.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
And
acceleration.
this little mattress company that many of you might know.
Yeah. We just exited for $1 billion
Yeah,
$2
billion
months
dollar
ago.
exit.
Just a cool
that just
Billy.
flew under the radar
Yeah,
too. Like how did
flew
that
under the
not
radar.
even?
Faye, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And this company's name was.
And we're not loud about it. Look at that, right? Who would
Yeah.
have thunk? Yeah, it's called Resident Home.
That's incredible, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. So in
And
2018,
so you literally just did the boot camp and then just started skilling up.
no, I did a bunch of other things in
Okay.
between, and I won't waste your.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it, but that's
I
still
won't waste
incredible, though.
airtime
So the
about
boot
that,
camp
yeah.
laid the foundation, and then that sprungboard you into.
Well, the foundation was actually working at a innovation agency where we were essentially working with Fortune 500s to help them validate new ideas using the lean startup method. If anybody still knows what that
It's,
is.
Eric Rees, right?
Eric Rees, that
powerful
he was
book.
on our board. So, the one thing that I could claim is this same best friend, Scott McLeod, shout out.
He's a for
a
people that
legend.
don't know, he's the
Yeah.
G. He's
Oh, yeah.
he's the
Oh, you know
the
Scott?
ledge. Yeah, or not peripherally. Like I know of him, but not him personally.
Yeah. So he's
He's
my
the
man.
man.
a G.
You
Oh,
got to
he's
bring
the G.
him on the pod next.
Oh, if you're lucky.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
He's introverted these days after
Yeah.
the exit, you know
Yeah.
how it
Okay.
goes. Yeah,
Some
yeah,
money will
yeah.
do that
But I'm
too.
actually visiting. I'm visiting him in Seattle. He got a spot in Seattle, so
Really? He's out of Miami?
I'm going next week. No, he's gonna still stay in
So
Miami.
you got the Seattle pad and the Miami. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's how you do the
Yeah.
coast to
Bi-coastal.
coast.
But
Yeah.
he's I don't want to. He's a private person. I don't
Of
wanna,
course,
Yeah.
put up
What's his social
his
security
story.
number?
Yeah, 214. Yeah. So we actually met through this innovation agency where, somebody like a product manager that went to Stanford or whatever that works at Adobe. This is the literal project. He came to us and said, I want to make an infographics maker. This is going to be the future of Adobe, using my D-School experiences or whatever. We actually would go out, interview people, understand the demand. So the very first project that we did together was we ran ads that prompted people to give us what they wanted to create from an asset generation perspective.
Okay.
And Scott would actually make them in Sketch, if anybody knows what that
And
is.
the kids won't get it, but we get it.
And then we would Zapier to Trello to Google Sheets, 4 ways to heaven, and come back, send it back to them the next day. So, we made it essentially an asset generation AI bot.
Do things that don't scale.
Yeah. So from there, we, discovered upon something in terms of social media image generation, and that eventually turned into Adobe Spark, which is their most popular mobile app.
No shit.
Yeah. No credit given, but that's okay.
Wow.
But I'm going to say it,
Wow.
you know? Yeah.
Bad boys moving silence.
So after that, we did a lot of these kind of projects, right? 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. And that kind of got my muscle going around that. He developed a particular expertise around growth.
Yeah.
I used to call him the dark wizard
Love it.
of growth. And so he started working with the co-founders at Resident. He's considered a co-founder there. And he needed someone that could actually understood technology. So I was just looking for, honestly, like something to do. So I could
call
sell
a job
mattresses.
just over broke, where you're just like, hey, let me do something, baby.
Because I was traveling out of
Yeah.
a duffel bag for like 2 years. I didn't have any money left. So I was down to do anything. But I got lucky. So in 2018, I joined in 2017. 2018, we scaled to 9 figures in run rate in 1 year.
Love
We were
that.
the fastest growing online mattress retailer
So what did
in
you
North
do
America.
for them? You came in, and what were you charged with?
So I was charged with initiating our A/B testing program
Okay.
with a A/B testing agency. And I didn't know anything about, stat sig or, really anything at all. But the business was growing like wildfire, and we never spent a penny at that time on awareness campaigns.
Yeah.
While our competitors like Casper's of the world were essentially like Subway ads. That's telltale sign. I'm like,
out of
brand is
home,
gonna
what
fail.
have you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so I had the opportunity to essentially learn just because I could actually implement what was being done. Because one thing about Resident is that we built our own Shopify, we built our own SourceMedium.
Everything was custom there.
Everything was built in-house. And it takes a lot of technical know-how to really make anything happen, right? So of course, like with Vermont, like that's the whole point of not needing that. But
Look at this beautiful human. Give me the shameless plugs.
yeah, of course, man. I got you all day. So, but if you wanted to make a landing page, like we had to code it, you know, and really understand the intricacies around the performance hits and everything else. I mean, I had to, hand implement like the LVAR blot out of the world, and so anyway, but we were just scaling really, 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 really fast. And we went multi-brand, omni-channel, and multi-region at the same time in 1 year. So we launched in the UK. We launched Dream Cloud at that time. So we have Nectar, Dream Cloud, Aurora, and many, many other brands. And we went Amazon and retail. So everything was happening. And of course, not having good data and making decisions on bad data was life and death.
Yeah.
There was really no room for
especially at that level of ad spend.
Yeah. So at one point, we were in the top 5 spenders on Facebook, like globally.
Not nothing.
Not nothing.
So how did this transition to SourceMedium?
Yeah, so basically, we had this infamous spreadsheet, Google Sheet dashboard called Master Dash. Yeah. And it was all, just whatever, right? Google Sheets, you know how it is. But of course, you start breaking and people start accidentally hitting enter on a cell and everything
mess
else.
Up that one formula
that
breaks
the whole thing is gone.
You know?
Bravo, you did what?
Yeah. It's just ref on days. And, but also there's a lot of different things, there's like the data isn't deep enough for you to actually understand and explain what's happening, right? And you don't trust the data and all kinds of things. So we knew that we needed to upgrade our data story there. And so then all we knew was like, oh, Looker, like that's legit. That's what legit people use. So what do we need to do to have Looker? And then, of course, like I went down this rabbit hole, and next thing you know, is like 4 vendors. That's like, 50 to 100K each. Yeah. We hired a data agency that was like $2,000 a day.
Jeez.
A day. Yeah.
It's real money.
Yeah. That's how much they cost. That's how much they cost. So after 2 months, we had some basic AOV dashboard on Looker, and like nobody trusted the data. Nobody knows how to use Looker.
If you don't trust the data is meaningless.
Yeah.
That's what no one gets. Exactly. Like bad data is worse than no data.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So, long story short, like basically I just got to see how expensive, time consuming, and
you felt the pain.
Yeah, and difficult it was, and risky really overall. I tried to hire our first head of data from Amazon, who didn't work out. And of course, like, how do you reverse that back? That takes time as well. So how do you take all the time back?
Yes.
That you have already wasted in terms of ad spend, So, but what I also do understand is what that journey is like from 7 all the way to 10 figures in sales, in terms of what a proper data infrastructure can do, what the investment model is like, and what the value it can provide you, And I think to this day, my last shameless plug about Resident is I do believe we are the textbook of DTC. Like in Harvard Business School, there has been a case that follows us till this day.
Powerful HBS.
For scaling consumer ventures. So,
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good proof that
definitely a feather in the hat.
Yeah. So who is SourceMedium right for, right?
Yeah, great question. So anyways,
before we get to that, Give us like the one-liner elevator pitch of what SourceMedium does for people that haven't followed along so far.
Sorry. So yeah, SourceMedium, we do two things. We help you save money by essentially gaining access to the most advanced data infrastructure that has supported the 10xing journey of brands like Oats Overnight, Olipop, Element, Proven Skincare. I can keep going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a year. It doesn't take 3 months. It takes a couple weeks.
Yep.
Right. And you don't need to have a whole BI team in house. You don't need to pay for Fivetran to Snowflake
Tableau
to
or
Looker.
something.
You do it.
Nonsense.
It's like a do-it-for-you solution, right? For data, you're a brand.
Yeah.
You want to extract all the data from the different platforms: Facebook, Google Analytics, Google Ads, TikTok, right? You have a Format Commerce has an integration.
Commerce has an
Let's
integration.
go.
So you're extracting the data, but then you're transforming it. You're some engineering. You're cleaning the data, getting rid of all the draft orders, everything that's conflating potential average order value or lifetime value. And then you're going to visualize it in a Looker, right? In a Tableau.
Yeah, so I like to say that I believe we have the highest quality data in e-commerce, and I have an open Pepsi challenge for anybody that want to challenge me on that.
Kids won't get that, but I did.
I'm ready to go. So, but that's not enough, So what do you do with that data? So what we focus a lot on is really embedding with our customers, gaining empathy, understanding their underlying business objectives, and making sure that we're scaling with them, So, so ultimately the way that we help you make money is the ability to make very, very important decisions confidently.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we use SourceMedium for our agency. We literally built our whole dashboarding infrastructure off of SourceMedium.
Love it.
And it's been a game changer. The second I saw his data, he came into my office, introduced by Mike True, we just had
Powerful
on.
Mike.
And he pulled up this dashboard and my mind was blown. I've started my career buying my own media, and this was the exact solution that I needed, that I wish existed, and didn't even know it existed until he pulled out this dashboard. And you could look at LTV from organic Facebook traffic, you go LTV from Facebook paid traffic, LTV from Google search, branded, non-branded. It was wild.
If you use the discount code XYZ, if you said I heard from you from
LTV
TV.
based on the discount codes, you can see which sales are driving low quality or high value customers, right? And then you can iterate. LTV based on the cohort month they were acquired. And so essentially SourceMedium we've used as a centralized dashboard that every team in our business can log into and see what's going on every single client. The email marketing team can go in and see, how much is ad spend this month, right? The creative team, we have a nice creative performance dashboard across all channels. We can see which creatives are performing best. And profitability. So finance goes in there, marketing teams go in there, retention, acquisition. And it's just that one-stop shop that if I'm a business, I don't know how you could operate out of solely Facebook, Google, Klaviyo dashboards, and everyone is totally siloed and nothing connects.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that,
Yep, so who's the ICP for SourceMedium?
Yeah, so we typically, we have gone through a pretty major transition recently. We started out as a dashboard company. We worked with, typically smaller clients, but now that we've transitioned into a full infrastructure company, we typically work with brands that are making between 30 million up to $1 billion in annual sales across all their channels. Typically the main reason people come to us is because there is a level of complexity in the business that actually justifies somewhat of a more advanced data infrastructure setup. If you have Shopify, Amazon, right? If you have some retail data, you need to be able to look at that in one unified metrics framework, in one unified decision-making framework. Like that's where we come in.
I love it. We're getting heckled by the peanut gallery. So let's maybe do one or two more questions, John, and let's wrap it up. I think the Celtics game is on and people are getting angry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Celtics are blowing them out, though. I mean, that game's already
there we go.
But I got +7 on the Mavericks, so we're still
because
play
you
there.
never miss.
So, I mean, if you had one prediction for the rest of the year, where you think, actually, before we get into the prediction, maybe there's two questions.
Okay.
What is the difference? And this is like common sense to us, but I can't tell you the difference. I mean, anytime I talk to a new client or a new brand that's, a prospect, like, what do you have for your data? And they throw at me an attribution solution.
Yeah.
What is the difference between attribution software and data and analytics software.
Yeah, I mean, I think a data software really is about having visibility on numbers that you can trust to make decisions as an organization, not just as an individualized team, you know? So in that sense, it's like looking at your speedometer on your car.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't trust that you're actually going 80 miles an hour, you could die. Right. So that's what I typically say is, you know, if you're going 20 miles an hour, your numbers are 20% off. It's really not that big of a deal. Stick with what you're doing. But if you're going 150, 20% off either direction could be very dangerous. But, you know, I think attribution is one of those things that is very useful from a data point perspective, but is very, very specific to a function. So understanding where orders are coming from, understanding, you know, how you're acquiring users and growing your business is very important, but that's not the whole picture, right? How can you make sure that you're allocating your inventory correctly across Amazon and Shopify, right? How can you actually understand that at a blended basis when you have a big Good Morning America appearance that your ROAS is actually increasing?
Exactly right.
You know, and those are not the kind of things that attribution software could solve. But, you know, obviously attribution has a lot of use in and of itself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with the data, you could just cut the proper analytics solution, your proper naming convention. We slice and dice the data in ways like, I remember there was, for some reason, blended CAC just skyrocketed on this one huge client of ours. And we had to look back at all the data. Thank God we had proper naming conventions. We could slice and dice the data. And we realized we had a major shift in spend towards Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. So frequency skyrocketed.
Right.
And so return on ad spend and attribution looked great. But because we had that stacked bar chart on our spend allocation on the campaign tactic, we identified as soon as we went from like 25% ASC to 50% ASC, that's when blended CAC went up.
Wow, that's amazing.
Attribution doesn't do that, right? But like if you have that was our aha moment where it was like, this is so useful. I couldn't think of another way that we would have identified that without all the different views that we built.
That's why we do what we do. Yeah, another example that I could bring is with Oats Overnight. This case study is actually live on our website. You know, they probably have one of the biggest subscription programs that I've ever seen. And they had a big introductory SKU that was, you know, a single flavor, and they needed to understand, but there was signals that new subscribers prefer more of a sample pack, right? So they needed to make sure that they had the data points that they could trust to be able to transition that introductory SKU over to more of a sample pack. And like, that's where the data really becomes, you know, that's where it really matters, because, you know, if you make the wrong choice there, you know, it could tank the business very quickly.
It's business decisions beyond just the ad platforms.
It's a bar.
Absolutely.
It's 2 bars now.
Dropping bars.
Oh yeah.
Prescient.
We just came up with 2
Amazing.
on the fly.
All right, Faye, they're going to kick us out because I'm not buying the $2 million baseball card, but hey, maybe next year. Faye, how can people sign up for SourceMedium? Where can they follow you? This time's yours, my friend.
SourceMedium.com, and follow me on Twitter, I guess. I'm not really on social media.
He's tumbleweed just like
Mike True.
We got to get him active. We got these smart people out there. No one knows where to find them. So they got to get active, get the word out there.
Somebody who is active on Twitter is my man, Jon Snow. Jon Snow, time's yours. Plug
Dr. Jonathan Snow on Twitter. Follow me on LinkedIn as well. And I got the weekly newsletter now, just weekly insights.
Sign up.
Talking about great folks like SourceMedium.
Thank you.
Proper heat. All right, folks, we're firmoutcommerce.com. Book a demo. We also have a great newsletter. It goes out every Monday called The Geometry of Growth. Go grab it right on our website. You can subscribe there. Faye, dude, thank you for coming on. You crushed it.
Yeah,
John, you're the second seat.
Always a pleasure.
You're just the best. All right, folks, that's all we got for you today in New York City. We're going to go hit the town. So thanks for joining in. Bye.